E.N.D here. Today, as you can see, we're going to discuss this particular card, MOX Amber. MOX Amber is a last MOX printed in Magic the Gathering history. This is from the set of Dominaria. As for every MOX, it has a 0 casting cost. It is a legendary artifact, and you tap and you add 1 mana of any color among legendary creatures and planeswalkers you control. This card is, as I said, a mythic card in the set of Dominaria. As you know, Dominaria is out of standard, but is one of those very rare cases where we have a particular card that spike in price even if it is out of standard. In our case, Dominaria has been out of standard for at least 1 week. You can see here in our chart that the card history, the price card set history, it began at around $30. I do remember when Dominaria was released, the card was quite very expensive, it was between $25 and $30. I remember doing the box opening of that particular set, and because it didn't see any type of play, it went down in price, stabilizing at around $10. This happened between Dominaria and Guilds of Ravnica. Then the card, because the card didn't see any play at all, both in standard and both in modern, it continued to drop in price to around $7-8, which in my opinion it was a very, very good price for a MOX. You have to remember one thing: every MOX in the history of Magic the Gathering is extremely expensive, and in my opinion I didn't have any doubt that MOX Amber one day will be extremely expensive. There is no MOX out there in Magic the Gathering that is not expensive. Obviously the first MOXes, the part of the Power 9, those are powerful, yes, expensive a lot, but the majority of they are expensive because the supply of those cards is very rare. But obviously there is MOX Diamond, there is MOX Opal, there is now MOX Amber. I didn't have any doubt that a MOX in Magic the Gathering will be cheap. MOXes in Magic the Gathering are extremely expensive, and a price of $7 here, I think it was a very good time to start buying these cards. I'm sure that one day someone will do a deck and MOX Amber will feature, because for a 0 casting cost, it's a legendary artifact, and you can tap for 1 color of mana of among legendary creatures and planeswalkers you control. Nowadays planeswalkers, they are getting quite frequent in any type of modern and standard decks. Even legendary creatures, we have a lot of legendary creatures in every Magic the Gathering set. So I didn't have any doubt that one day this card will spike in price. And with War of the Spark, the card began to gain value. It begins to go up in price. The only reason it was because War of the Spark had a lot of planeswalkers in it. Therefore, some players thought that there will be some sort of combo decks that can mix MOX Amber with the amount of planeswalkers that were available in War of the Spark. This really didn't happen. As you can see here, there is another drop in price. Didn't happen. No one was playing again MOX Amber with planeswalkers, and therefore the price has dropped again to $10. Then all of a sudden, with Throne of Eldraine, the card spiked to $30. Nowadays it's being traded to around 28. I'm sure that with this card will spike more. It spiked to $30. Why? There is a very, very good reason. The reason is called Emry, Lurker of the Loch. Emry, Lurker of the Rock is a rare card from Throne of Eldraine for 2 and 1 blue. It's a legendary creature. The spell costs 1 less to cast for each artifact you control. This is the reason why MOX Amber has spiked in price. Emery Lurker of the Lock, we have a decks built around this particular creature, even commanders. This is a legendary creature, therefore it is a commander. There's also modern, also MOX Amber is being used in modern Erza decks with this card, but in reality it's Emery Lurker of the Lock that spiked the card. Emery Lurker of the Lock is another example of a new card in Magic the Gathering that will spike price of other cards that are out of standard. I'm sure that in the future there will be other cards printed in standard decks that will make your rare 25 cents rare card that sits, or mythic card that sits in your bulk collection stored in a piece of box, will make that card from 25 cents to $30. Always keep an eye on what's happening around Magic the Gathering. This is MOX Amber is another example where with a new card in a new standard set in Magic the Gathering, it spiked in price, and I'm sure if Emery will continue to see that amount of play, I'm sure MOX Amber and other artifact cards will continue to spike in price. Leave me a comment below. What do you think about the spike? Do you think this will be a permanent spike, or it will just go down back in price? From the graph it doesn't seem that it will go back in price. And here is the subscription button. Subscribe for my channel for more interesting videos about Magic the Gathering and the collectible world.